Okay, welcome to Coffee with Job on Thursday, and again chucking it down rain, but I thought I would go outside. And I am, in just preparing for this, I'm loving looking at Job chapter 39, and I'm back to my old pal Christopher Ash. His book, well, I've commended it numerous times, and much of what I'm going to say today, and indeed the rest of this week, comes from that book as he goes through chapter 39, and we come to verse 5. We're learning lessons from animals, and yesterday we learnt about time, and today we learn about freedom. Verse 5, who let the wild donkey go free? Who untied its ropes? I gave it the wasteland as its home, the salt flats as its habitat. It laughs at the commotion in the town. It does not hear a driver's shout. It ranges the hills for its pasture and searches for any green thing. I love that. Oh, by the way, thanks to Mary, who watches this and who was amused at my talking about an electricity outrage as opposed to outage. Yeah, that's correct. And thanks to those of you who pointed out to me about having missed out this whole chapter. I'm really grateful for that, actually. I guess I'm not the Pope and I'm not infallible. Nor is he, by the way. So, what's being taught here? This is a wild donkey that's been set free and whose bonds have been loosed and who lives in the salt ash land, which is dry and arid. And I love this bit. It laughs at the commotion in the town. It does not hear a driver's shout. Now, this is just brilliant imagery. So here's a wild donkey saying to the tame donkeys, the enslaved donkeys, I'm free. You're in the town, but I'm out in the desert, but I'm free. And I just think that's a great image. And the whole point about this, the donkey can range the hills, take whatever grass it wants. The whole point about this is that this wild donkey that lives in an arid land has freedom, and that freedom ultimately comes from God. Who let the wild donkey go free? God. Who untied its ropes? I gave it the wasteland as its home. His freedom is under the sovereignty of God and under the freedom of God. I think it's Ash, he writes this line, there is not 1 inch of strange wildness that lies outside the counsel of God. It's strange, isn't it? We think we're so in control because we've got our wee houses or big houses and rooms and cars, and we feel that we're in some degree of control, and sometimes when we go out in the wild we have no control. And the rain this morning was absolutely chucking it down. I have no control. We had a lightning storm here a while ago. I have no control over that. We can't control the wild animals, but everything is under the sovereignty of God. Now, that whole idea of freedom, we are set free, says Hebrews, to serve the living God. There's so many, the song, Go for 1,000 tongues. My chains fell off, my heart was free, I rose, went forth and followed thee. And we offer freedom to people. Jesus Christ, know the truth and the truth will set you free. But I love this, and we're gonna play this, the old version, the 1650 version of Psalm 124 to the tune Old 124th. I loved it as a kid because even it seemed to me to swear, it spoke about people's bloody cruelty. But I just love this idea of the fowler's snare. Even as a bird out of the fowler's snare escapes away, so is my soul set free. Broke are their nets, and thus escaped we. And that glorious freedom that comes with Christ, but it's not a freedom that's anarchy. It's the freedom of the wild donkey, if you like, in the desert, maybe even in the arid desert, but able to say, I'm free. And some of us, we can do that. We can look and we can see people who are wealthier, people who seem to have more pleasures and riches than we do, and yet they're bound and enslaved by them. But we've been set free. And that's a marvelous thing to celebrate. The bird coming out of the fowler's snare. I contrast that with Leonard Cohen's Like a Bird on a Wire, like a drunk in a midnight choir, I've tried in my way to be free, but he can't be free. but you need Christ to be free. And I think it's a wonderful thing we have to offer to people. I love the Dutch church, and I always loved it. I think almost every service I would hear these words: Onze hulp is in de naam des Heeren, die hemel en aarde gemaakt heeft. Our name is in the name of the Lord, the one who made the heavens and the earth, citing the end of Psalm 124. Well, our help is in the name of the Lord, and our freedom is in the name of the Lord. So, if you're free, join me tomorrow, at the same time. God bless you. Bye.